Hey, good morning, Ken Long at Tortoise Capital. This is a review of the weekend report for February 14th, 2026. Bullish volatile market, good for short term traders. Long term strong, but the short and mid term definitely weakening. We are still in risk off. According to the risk Z, we're at a critical state at Z minus one, testing that twice. You can see the blended monthly rebalancing holdings for February doing well. The ETF2 exposure remains at 90%. This is a look at the daily chart on Canada. It is a guest appearance today. Its relative strength in all dimensions is better than the S&P, which is true for all of the international indexes as well. It's in early stages of nice recovery. Friday's action was good, looking to push to new highs. EWC. The pink dots represent key turning points on the 3 day chart. This is SPY. You can see this is a 150-day box that we're in. These are all places where the regression lines are crossing key price levels. It gives us insights into the strength of that building off the bottom. The 9 day bar shows the same thing. For my students out there, you should be able to explain what each one of those circles means and why we care. And we'll talk about it in the coaching session. But those are key indicators for our long term assessment of the markets. It's the 150-day look back for sniper traders. All of the red lines represent support levels at the usual places. Turning points, for example, where the RL10 came down and exactly met the RL150. PSAR flipped into a nice recovery. And then the last 30 days in the black box, the last 10 days in the blue and red and yellow. So that's day 6 through 10, 2 through 5, and the last 1 day price, high and low of the day for breakouts. And then these are framing price levels that give us insights into potential targets going forward in the usual way. This zooms in on the last 30 days. You can see that we've broken below that triple bottom. The RL10 turned to winter and is aiming downward. If it breaks through 678 and 676, Katie barred the door. So this is in a fragile state, ideal for short-term trading, difficult for swing trading and long-term. This is zooming in on the 30 minutes. This is 1 day, days 2 through 5, and then 6 through 10. So we can see the 30-day anchored VWAP, the 3 day anchored VWAP, and the 10-day anchored VWAP. So we're looking for potential breakouts at the green and the red line for going into Tuesday. A quick look at the blended monthly rebalancing portfolios expressed on a weekly basis. We're combining the 3 month and the 6 month into a composite blended return. But we also take a look at the 1 month and 1 week percent returns as a way to start getting in front of that longer term payoff. You can see we get ranked by blended monthly performance. And then the MA signal is connected to the BMR. It has to be above the 4 month moving average to get a buy signal, otherwise cash. Tech is the only one out of the top 13 portfolio that's below its 4 month moving average. The 22 ETF portfolio brings in the sector spiders to plus up the ETF 13. You can see what's getting murdered. Discretionary finance and technology. Latin America is leading the way. You'll see the international symbols doing well here. Japan, emerging markets, Euro Asia blend, all doing well. The ETF 32 portfolio adds an additional 10 world market indices to the ETF 22 portfolio, so we get a little wider exposure. You can see China getting slaughtered. And gold and silver get added in this portfolio. Silver is in a volatile place here. Gold continues to be pretty steady, but silver not for the faint of heart. Some strength this week in materials and Japan. The Dow 30, this is the same technique but applied to members of the Dow, and a couple extra specials that have substituted in, like Palantir. I want you to just notice that the two strongest ones show a really distinct difference, and in the markets between Intel, which just got slaughtered, and Caterpillar, which is crushing it. Verizon versus Google, they're about in the same place, but again, the shorter term oscillations are the reason why we pay attention to that shorter term tactical signals and not just the longer term when it comes to our swing signals. I just like Honeywell, great American tech company, solid in every dimension. Nice way to play tech. Cisco looks at any time you get a 10% and an 8% in Apple and a 6% in JP Morgan and 12% sell off in 1 week in those bellwethers. That's either a buy on dip opportunity or the market is trying to tell you something. Word to the wise. Microsoft and Palantir and both have been beaten down quite a bit, and that's the old tech and the future tech pairing off, going man to man. This is the ETF Max, and it gives us the top 30 based on the blended scores, and then the bottom 10 based on the absolute worst of the worst, so we can start looking for potential turnarounds, like a 21% gain in natural gas this past month. So sometimes being a catfish, paying attention to the out of favors gives you an opportunity for some amazing results. But this includes this considers the top 180 most liquid ETFs in the world model, so we can get an insight about what's working. ETF regional report will just point out South Korea and Mexico are crushing it and really dominating the U.S. in every dimension, as is Latin America ILF. Yeah, that's right. All right, this takes a look at the ETF2 model, which features strength, consistency, and quality, some proprietary measures that we use, and then a composite average. Strength, consistency, and quality are scored 0 to 100 for all the members of the database, and then they get a prorated interpolated share price. Then the average and above to 1 standard deviation is white. More than 1 standard deviation above the database set is green. Below average is yellow. Really bad, more than 1 standard deviation is red. That's how you read that. I get interested, especially for short-term trading, if the consistency, which is based on a 10-week average of performance, is above average, but now in the most current week turns to green. I really like that because it was good, it's now great, and that's a measure of new strength. So I'm looking at Latin America, green on strength, white on consistency for that reason. All these that are double green have been killing it, but this is like a new member of the leadership pack. By the same token, going from green to white shows XBI is slowing down. Green to white was great, now it's just good, so you should be preserving profits, watching for resumption. In the blue are those that were weak but are now above average, so I want you to notice the international postures of, there's dividend equity, industrial sector, Taiwan, international equity, world minus the U.S., Vanguard all world ex-U.S., total international stock. So there's a real shift to global assets and out of the U.S., making America lag again. Just a quick look at the tradables up in here. Gold and the Russell both trading about the same volume. Gold twice the volatility of the daily Russell. And then Brazil and Korea have been trading an awful lot of volume, are very liquid, and it's part of that resurgence in strength in the internationals. That's very tradable, as is EEM. But I like the intraday volatility of those two better. This is just for reference. This is that whole stack of about the top 100 or so most liquid ETFs. They have $150 million daily volume, and it's rated uh, by the same structure, but sorted on the strength column, so you can see how things, the best, the above average, the below average, and the worst. U.S. large cap growth getting slaughtered. Shifting to the daily report now. Let's see what we got here. All right, so I've added a swing trade frame. Sorry, let me get this. All right, this is a swing trade frame for tomorrow. We want to take a look at Amazon, which had sold off. This is daily chart, sold off harshly, ends in a doji. I'm ready to play the breakout above the green line or below the red line, and then if it breaks below 194, a second entry. These purple lines represent standard pricing targets on the way up in the usual way. This is a sniper trade of the day. This was an intraday chart. This is Rigetti, one of our high prize. That was the last 30 days. It gapped way up, started selling off. That's the opening range 10 minutes. It broke down, so I got short with the yellow box as the risk. It reversed. I took a half an hour loss. It gave me a 1-2 entry above the rising VWAP and above the rising river. So I reverse here with the yellow box as the standard risk. That's an R5 risk. Second position on a 1-2-3 resumption. Cash after the peak. Keep 70%. That's the exit on both positions for 2.5 hour, netting 2 in the usual way. Let's see. We've already seen those. Why? There we go. Let's try that. I would notice the on page 1 here, the Qs um, are suffering. They are not quite oversold yet, but that's going to be the next one to get long. You can see we're starting to stall in the river up in here. These are the z-scores of the uh, moves of various time frames. Um, this is, whoa. Sorry about that. Yeah. So on the 20, 10, and 5 day, the S&P is negative at not quite worse than -1. Friday was a holding period. You notice that EFA is much better on the Z scores on all the holding periods than the corresponding US. You can see energy and industrials are doing much better than financials and tech. All of our story stocks in the Nifty 5 here, Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir getting murdered. Energy and international paper doing okay. Alcoa's okay. Regional banks stabilized. So this is a flight from tech. This one's just a quick summary of the Dow Tactical breakdowns in the red here. A handful of symbols test out well on the auto framer. Lots of patterns among our standard mechanical swing trades, you can read those as well as I can. In the ETFs, we'll just notice that there's a nice bump in treasuries, handful of auto framers, and some 551Ws. Friday was a pretty calm day. This one gives you a feel for the auto framers and why Amazon was of interest to us. This one gives us the daily squeeze. I've added a new feature in here where I'm taking a look for the swing trades, where I care about uh, the uh, the ATR reward to risk ratio and the amount of squeeze that's happening to give us a composite 1 day swing value. So right now, Silver, Google, AMD, and Microsoft are showing the best potential for a 1 day pop that could become also a nice swing trade. So that's my new add to this one. These are well above average. These are all above average, and these are just kind of marginal, nothing special to write home about. But so this column is now going to start showing us opportunities on a swing that could be compound returns. This chart gives us everything that's above 2 to 1 on the auto framer using our TC2000 frame. This is why Amazon becomes the swing frame of the day, because it's at 13 to 1 reward to risk ratio. The leverage, Google, AMD, and Silver leverage are all also ready to pop. Treasuries and utilities in the defensive plays, lots of redness in the short term. Our intraday traders remain, that combination of very large volatility and fraud quality numbers give us this trading value score, and then ranked by that ratio. The exceptional ones in the top 10: Rigetti, Bitcoin, Intel, Alcoa, etc. All right, that's everything I want to look at for today. We will catch you in the chat room and in the coaching sessions for details. Take good care.